What's up, guys? So, I'm finally doing the request. This is a overhaul X reader, but this is a black. It's not a reader. Dang it! It's a overhaul X listener. Black listener to be exact. I am sorry for the amount of stuttering that I do in my videos. Because I just realized how much I stutter in my videos and how much I mess up in my videos, but you guys still like it. You guys are like, oh, that's cool. That's fine. We understand. Okay, so if you want to help a girl out, consider subscribing to Scribbles. Also, it's not Valentine's Day yet, but most likely at the end of this video, it's only gonna be like 10 or 20 minutes before Valentine's Day. So what I'm gonna say is Happy Valentine's Day. This is my Valentine's Day gift to you. So yeah, that was a lot of pop. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's get straight on into the video. One day you was walking down an alleyway. It was a shortcut home. You thought this is gonna be the fastest way home, and probably the dumbest but also smartest way. When the alleyway comes to a fork, you continue going straight, but in one of the other alleyways, you see somebody. Their arm comes off and appears again. Must have been their quirk. They look at you, and then they run away. What was that? You said. You continue walking. Finally getting home, you saw that on the news there had been a report of a dead body in the exact same alleyway he was in. This had just been reported, so of course he didn't see you. But when I tell you he was scared as can be, he was. Okay. This is probably just a one-time thing. It's fine, he said. You walk to your kitchen in your apartment and fix some food. After that, eating, watching some more TV, and then going to bed. And this happened over and over and over again. It was like everywhere you went, this guy was there. Like the next day, you didn't take the shortcut because you were scared something was going to happen. But oh well, he was right there in another alleyway. Then you was on your roof because you didn't work on that day. You let the sky, so you was looking at it. And when you looked down, you saw him. He wasn't in an alleyway, he was walking. But the way he was facing, you could see his face, and you instantly recognized that face. He was in a black hoodie and black jeans and black shoes with his hood up. Now, it would be a lie didn't if you didn't find this man attractive, because you absolutely did find him attractive. But what you saw happened was horrifying. One day when he was at work, somebody had started to rob it. This is one of the things you hate. Where you work at is a cafe, and you really don't really like it. You was looking for a new job to be the exact. It was just because it always gets robbed. When the guy came to the back, he said, "If anybody of you say I was here, I will hurt you." And he knew that wasn't enough. He knew as soon as he left, somebody was going to tell. So he took you. He made sure that your friends, your coworkers, knew he was being dead serious. He was knocked out, and when you woke up, he was in a cold, dark room. "Where am I?" he said, looking around. "Oh, I see you're awake," he says. A guy came out with a mask that looked like a beak. He had nice brown hair, and he was in like some type of suit, just without the jacket. Well, there was a jacket, of course, but it wasn't a suit type of jacket. It was green with purple fur around the collar. "I wanted to make sure your friends knew that I was being serious. So I had to take somebody. And I recognized you, so I took you," he said, explaining. "You're that the guy that killed that person in the alleyway," he said. "That's me. Now, you seem pretty, and I honestly don't want to hurt you. And that being said, I know where you live, and I know you're looking for a job. So, you can either be working for me, in, how do I say this, minimum wage, or I can let you go and get some other lousy cheap job. If I'm being honest, when I robbed that place, I didn't have any money. And only $50, he said. "Yeah," he said. "Oh, so you're agreeing?" "Not a lot of the people I kidnap agree," he said. "What am I going to be doing?" he said, considering. Well, I want you to make sure you can hunt down my targets for me. But not only that, you're going to take care of a little girl," he said. "What's the little girl name?" you said. "Her name is Erie. We're doing experiments on her because of her quirk. Basically trying to figure it out. Things happened when she was younger and she was handed to me. But that's not the point. Do you take this job? Or do you go to some other sucky place?" he said. Now, if you're being honest, you really needed a job. Minimum wage? That's kinda a lot. Well, from your point of view, it was a lot. No, let's say, as a cafe, it wasn't very popular. It honestly barely got any attention. Again, that being said, you only got $2 per hour. And if you worked, of course, let's say 15 hours, you only got $30, which was basically only enough for you to get food. Sometimes you were late on bills because of how you worked. So you getting $7.25 per hour? Now that is a lot. Will I be still going to my apartment or will I be staying here? You said. You'll still be able to go to your apartment. Also, do you have another room? He said. Yes. Erie, the little girl I told you about, is gonna have to stay with you. Just so people who are looking for her is not gonna suspect anything. Okay? Also, another thing. What's your quirk? He said. It's called metal. Essentially, any metal around me, or metal just in general, I can turn into any weapon shape I want to. I can also use the iron in my body to use it. But that's why I'm on a dose of iron, so I can use my quirk right. And, of course, also, keep my iron up. He said. Okay, I'll give you the little girl and you can go back. He said. And I'm telling you, if there's any funny business with this, you are dead. He said, getting up and leaving. Wow, he's scary. He said. Overall, I have gave you the girl and you went home. The little girl was clearly shy, so you knew when you got home you was going to introduce yourself. When you got home, you had set her down on the couch. Hi, my name is Listener, he said. She gave you a soft smile. I'm Eerie, but you probably already know that, she said. She was clearly smart for her age. Well, do you want to do something, Eerie? You said. Um, I don't really know. I didn't really do things when I was little, she said. How about, hmm, he said. She couldn't really go outside because, she was being looking for. How about I'll go let you see all the old toys I had when I was younger, he said. She quickly nodded her head. You got up and went to your storage room, picked up a box that had all your old toys in it. You had cherished this. It was kind of the only thing you had left from your childhood. Here. She opened the box and looked through it. Wow, she said. This was my favorite one, he said, picking out the teddy bear. It's so pretty, she said, holding it. Does it have a name? She said. No, my mother had always said it was silly to name toys you had, he said. It was true. Your mother never liked you naming toys, because she thought you would make them become your make believe friends. And your mother believed that make believe friends was just you trying to act like you had friends, which it is, but she knew you didn't have friends and she didn't want you to get your hopes up for friends. Can I name it? She said. Sure, he said. I want to name it. Is it a boy or girl? She said. It's whatever you want it to be, he said. Hmm. Well, it's a boy, and I'm going to name it Mr. Overhaul, she said, since he is the only person who's kind to me. Besides you, of course, she said. Overhaul? Kind to a child? Now this was unexpected. Well, you keep Overhaul, Mr. Overhaul, And whenever you want company and I'm not available, you can hug Mr. Overhaul and pretend like it's, Mr. Overhaul, he said. Okay. Um, one more question, she said. Of course. Do you like Mr. Overhaul? She said. Dang, this kid is smart, you said under your breath. Thank you, she said. He looked at her amazed. I said, quietly. Anyways, um, you can't tell him this if you see him again, he said. I promise I won't say anything, she said. Fine. I might have a little crush on him, he said. Are you and Mr. Overhaul gonna date? You spit out the water he was drinking. Um, I mean, that's only if Mr. Overhaul likes me, he said, looking away blushing. Well, okay. Can you show me to my room? I'm a little tired, she said. Of course. Follow me, he said. She got off the couch and followed you. You showed her to the room that had a small bed in it. She quickly runs to the bed and jumps up and flops on it. So comfy, she said. I'll let you sleep. Just yell if you need me, okay? He said. Okay. And she walked off. Well, you walked off. So kind, he said. And extremely smart, he said. Well, that's what I've learned from the start, you heard a voice behind you said. You quickly turned your head to see Overhaul. How long have you been at the door? He said. Ever since you got here, he said. So you like me, huh? He said. You quickly ran to your room, closing the door, locking it. You have to answer my question, he said. You can practically hear the smirk. I don't need to answer that question, he said. My crushes and the people I like is to be kept to myself, he said. Yeah, what if I bust this door open and make you give me an answer? He said. Fine, but I'm going to say it while this door is closed, he said. Fine by me. I just want an answer, he said. Well, I might have a little crush on you, but that's it. Only little, he said. Hmm, I have a little crush on you. I mean, that's the reason I call you pretty. But the thing is, what Erie said was to see if you liked me. He said. What do you mean? He opened the door. Well, before I had given Erie to you, I had asked her, or told her, to ask you if you liked me, he said. That's why she asked me, he said. Yup, I got the answer I wanted, he said, lifting your chin up. So, how about I ask you something? He said. Will you be my girlfriend? He said in a seductive voice. If he wasn't red already, he was clearly red now. Yes, he said. He knew you wasn't unsure. You was just a blushy mess. You didn't know what to say. So you just mumbled out a yes. All of a sudden, he kisses you. Time skip to when all the drama happens. I should have known this was gonna happen, he said. What? That I lose my arms and now I don't have Erie, he said. And also, I failed him, he said. He said, no, I knew they was going to probably get her. He said, so you planned this? He said, no, I didn't plan it. I'm just saying that I knew this was most likely going to happen. You guys have been dating for basically 2 years now. 2 years with Erie, and now she's gone. Those were the most fun 2 years you've ever had. It made you want to have a child, to be honest. I miss Erie, you said. I know, he said. I didn't really want to hurt her, he said. I was basically forced to. I would be killed if I didn't, he said. Well, what do we do now? Don't know. I mean, Shigaragi and his gang is gone. Who wonders what they'll do next? He said. Maybe we can forget about this? He said. Forget about what? Forget about all this shit ever happened. Like, forget that I ever kidnapped Erie, or even hurt Erie, or about me dealing with Shigaraki, me doing all that stuff, you doing all that stuff. He said, what if we just, you know, forget about it, live a normal life? He said. I mean, we could. There's different possibilities that would happen. People don't know our name. Do people know what we look like? They don't know what you look like. Of course, they know what I look like, but not you, since you really didn't commit a crime. I mean, yeah, I was really only taking care of Viri and making sure all your targets were where they were at the supposed time. But yeah, really, I didn't commit any crime. He said kind of sarcastically. It's very funny, he said. Have I ever told you I love you? He said. That's possibly the fifth time today, he said, smiling. But I love you too, he said. Time skips to 2 months later. You and Overhaul have become completely clean about every crime you've done, everything you've done. You coming forward, police only put you in jail for 1 month. Only 2 days ago, coming out of jail. You guys had even give information about what Shigaraki was doing, and they was grateful for that, since they basically had no leads on what Shigaraki was doing. Now, if we're talking to a month after that, you had recently found out you was pregnant, and you and Overhaul did not plan to have kids anytime soon. I never wanted to. Um, Kai? He said. Yeah, is something wrong? He said. They had gave him arms to where he could functionally work them. So it looked like it was he did have arms, but he also didn't. You know the way the arms are. I need to tell you something, he said. Is something wrong? Yes and no, he said. I'm okay. I'm gonna leave something on the table. I'm gonna go in my room, our room, and just stay there. And I want to hear your reaction. You said. You said. Okay. He sits down beside you. Close your eyes. You said. He closes his eyes. You sit a pregnancy test down on the table. You walk out of the room, and before you close your door, you say, "Look," and you close the door. You would stand by the door for a good few minutes. He was most likely in a state of shock until you heard him yelling. "Oh, hell yeah!" he said. You had knew he was happy. "I'm gonna be a fucking father," he said. "I guess you're happy about that?" you said nervously. "Hell yeah, I am," he says, coming to hug you. 2 years later, you now have a 1-year-old daughter, and she's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. And if you're, of course, being honest, you had named her similar to Harry. Since, her quirk had not been discovered, when she used her quirk, it rewined back, but it looked like electrifying, and it reminded you of stars for some reason. So you called your daughter Starlight. I know, odd name, but she loved it. One day your daughter had come up to you. "Daddy says he needs you," she said. "Is something wrong?" She shook her head no. The words she said was incoherent, so it was weird for her, but you knew what she was saying. You sat her down on the couch and walked all the way to your room. That was until you saw Kai down on one knee. "Kai, what's going on?" you said. I Here's trying to find the right words to say. "I know this might seem unexpected and really weird, but I wanted to ask you, listener, if you wanted to marry me," he said, "since we've practically been dating for 4 years." He said. "Of course," you said, crying, quickly hugging him. He puts a ring on your finger and you kiss him. This was probably the happiest day of your life. That is the end of the video. I hope you really liked it. I kind of like the idea if Kai dated or overall dated somebody, he would let them take care of Erie, because it would just, he would do still, like, okay, he would still do experiments on her, but every time he was done with one and she would probably pass out or something, he would bring her back, and she would be super scared probably. But as soon as she saw you, she would be like super happy, and and I just find that cute, honestly. And I think that Overhaul would honestly genuinely be kind to Erie. Like, I feel like, oh my god, this might sound stupid to say, but I feel like he would not want to hurt her. I think he would genuinely want to be kind to her. And if he saw her, genuinely want to help her if she was in danger. But with what was going on, he couldn't. And I honestly don't remember a lot from MHA, so don't blame me. But yeah, I just genuinely find that cute. And you can hunt me down if you want to. Also, I forgot to say, it's officially now actually Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to every single person who watches this video and all my other videos. But if you go to my Twitch that I will have in the link below, I do go live on there sometimes and you guys can talk to me, ask questions and all that random stuff. So yeah, um I feel like there's something else to say. I don't know. Um yeah. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, or wherever you are, and peace.